to be sad that Chilled Drinks will be moving to Wild, but at the same time, I feel it is a good retirement and
Yeah.
moving on to new ways of thinking for deck making and stuff. I mean, Kobold Monk, for crying out loud. Not to mention the crazy shit that you can do, with any class with Genn Greymane, which I am crafting, by the way, if I don't get him in one of those pre-order packs. Yes. That's going to take some serious thinking for only even cost cards. And
Yeah.
and probably gonna I don't know about Baku because that's only odd cost cards because Baku would work with Frostlich Jaina because Frostlich Jaina is a 9 cost card. So if I wanted to do some kind of nifty mage thing with Genn in the deck, I could not have Jaina. I could not rely on super scary Death Knight Elemental Mage. I would have to think of
Yeah.
something else, like Big Spell Mage or something. Like how much does Dragon Collar Alana cost? Come on, Alana, where the fuck? Oh, she's a 9 cost too. Shit. So I couldn't even conceivably do Big Spell Mage because she's a huge win condition there. Same with Dragon's Fury, that's an odd cost card. So if I wanted to do something with Baku, I could easily do either Big Spell Mage or Elemental Mage. But if I wanted to do something with Genn, I'd have to come up with something really interesting out of my ass.
Yeah.
Maybe a different version of Big Spell Mage. Because, like, things like Shimmering Tempest, that's a 2 cost. Death Rattle, add a random mage spell to your hand. Leyline Manipulator, Battle Cry, if you're holding any cards that didn't start in your deck, reduce their cost by 2. I mean, that kind of goes together with, like, collecting spells out of nothing. The spells
Yeah.
that you get from the effects of other cards. Let's see, what else have I got? What else have I got? Shifting Scroll. That has absolutely no mana cost because each turn it's in your hand, it transforms into a random mage spell.
Mm-hmm.
So something like that. Something like random spell mage. Oh, and hey, Lesser Ruby Spellstone. Like the spellstones for the classes, the one for mages is you play elementals to upgrade it, and then you add random mage spells to your hand. Pyros, thank God, is an even cost card all across the board. 2, 6, 10. Thank goodness. Yeah, so thinking ahead, which, as you know, because it's a habit of yours, is always good to do. Thinking ahead, I would probably have to do some kind of, conjured spell book sort of way of playing if I wanted to use Genn Greymane. Flamegeisher. That's one of the backbones of Elemental Mage. It's a 2 cost spell, deal 2 damage, add a 1/2 elemental to your hand. Unfortunately, unfortunately the elementals are 1 cost, but as I recall, the conditions of the text on Greymane's card is if there are only even cost, cards in your deck. It doesn't say anything about the little, flamelets that you get from a card effect.
Yeah.
So, judging from past experience, that's okay. And then what's the
As long as
Steam?
they don't put those cards in your deck.
No, they don't. They put them directly in your hand.
Yeah.
And if there's not enough room in your hand, they destroy it. Let's see, what's the Steam Surger? Perfect! The Steam Surger, if you played an elemental last turn, add a Flamegeisher to your hand, and it's a 4 cost card. So I could conceivably do some kind of combination elemental conjured spell. It's kind of, I could call it Conjurer, because in Warcraft history, elementals are basically summoned or conjured and then bound to the mage's will. And that goes as far back as Warcraft 1 with the wizards and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So some kind of conjurer deck would be really cool to try with Genn. And then if I wanted to do big spell mage, I would have to go with Baku, or say fuck it with Baku and just not care about playing an all odd cost card, deck.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, thinking ahead, yeah, that's something I can try to make work. A conjurer deck. Oh, oh, the gears in my head are going, baby. The gears in my head are going.